Hello lovelies. Thanks for joining me on today's Timeless Pick a Card reading. So in this reading, I'm looking at the signs that the universe is showing you and what they mean. Signs and symbolism are a great way to connect and develop your intuition. And on my other channel, Elizabeth Keedy, I've got some videos relating to signs and symbolism and developing your intuition. There's a link in the description box below the video if you're interested. In these readings today, I'm going to take a look at any signs that you might be seeing in your daily life and the message that the universe is giving you, okay? Signs and symbolism are one of my favourite subjects, okay? So I'm really excited about this reading. So look at the different options on the readings and go for the one that you're most drawn to, or more than one, if you're drawn to more than one. And as usual, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. So I'll see you in the readings. Hello Group 1, welcome to the reading and thank you for joining me. I'm giving the cards a final shuffle and we'll choose a few to see what the reading wants to talk about today. Okay. We've got 29 perspective, 47 love, 25 purify. Okay, so first of all, for those of you that live in countries where you have the blackbird, see, there might be a similar bird to the blackbird in other countries. I'm not totally up on bird watching, but in the UK, seeing the blackbird is a very positive sign that represents hope and optimism and joyful feelings. But more importantly, it's actually to do with changing your perspective on something and looking at something from a brighter viewpoint. Okay. Whenever I see blackbirds showing up on my path, I'm usually going through a positive upswing. And if I've been through a bit of a challenging time recently, the blackbirds are a really welcome sign to see. And often they come with the robins. The robin redbreast often shows up in the same day if I'm seeing the blackbirds, because the robins represent new growth, new developments, rebirth and positive change. Okay. So if you live in a country where you get the little blackbirds or similar types of birds, those are one of the signs that you might be seeing that the universe is giving to you, that hope and optimism and a brighter perspective is coming into your life. Okay. More images on this card. Now, before I go into that, these are one of the decks I've created called Life Signs Oracle, and I've created a couple of other decks as well. And they're all based on signs and symbolism because I absolutely love signs, as I've said. Okay, so these cards have got lots of symbolism in them. Now, in this card, we've got the toadstool here in the background and the stars in the sky. So both of those are very symbolic and the sort of things that you might see as a sign. So the toadstool represents, it connects with nature, and anything from the fungi family is, they're kind of, I don't know if you know anything about fungi, but they connect underground. It's like they build this network of these fine fibers that connect with each other, and it's like they communicate with each other. And this very much represents connectedness and oneness, and the oneness of life, the oneness of creation, and connecting with each other and seeing the connection in life and in everything and in all of your experiences, and seeing how you're connected to everybody else. So that's a really positive sign to see if you come across toadstools quite regularly, obviously depending where you live. But also the other aspect to toadstools is that they thrive in darker light levels, and this means that they do very well in the dark. So This is a sort of energy that will help you to see. It connects with this energy of perspective, doesn't it? And seeing things differently. The sun shows us things clearly. The nighttime or moonlight, we don't see things as clearly. So another symbolism of the toadstool here is about finding clarity in things, seeing through the illusion of something, changing your perspective on something. Okay. And the stars, they're a guiding force. In this card, I don't know if you can see, but the stars are actually starfish. It's a little quirk on the card there. But stars in general, they represent guidance, hope, illumination. So the energy that I'm picking up here with all of this symbolism is about how you see things, your perspective. It's could also be about you being guided by spirit to look at something in a particular way and to look harder at something, look more into the details of something as well. That's the message I'm getting through right now. So if you're seeing any of this symbolism, whether it's the blackbird, the toadstools, or the stars, you might not see that symbolism in physical form, but you could see the words somewhere or images of any of these signs. Okay. And the other thing that Spirit's just drawn my attention to is the doorway at the end of the boardwalk. The doorway represents, again, a change in viewpoint, because if we have a door in front of us, we can't see what's on the other side of it until we open it. And doors can also relate to a new chapter, but also in connection with what I'm saying, it's this new perspective coming in. Something brighter is coming in, and a brighter energy is coming in for you to see things in a better way. That is a very strong energy of this card here. Okay. So look out for the symbolism, the blackbird, the toadstool, doorways and stars in whatever form they come. You might, if you're the sort of person that uses the internet a lot, you might come across a lot of memes or adverts or whatever that might have reoccurring images on them that you might notice. And that's the sort of thing that you want to be paying attention to, because that's the message, especially if you're seeing something 3 or more times. Okay. The other thing that I've noticed with this card and the one next to it, 47, love, is that both of those numbers, 29 and 47, add up to 11. Now, my last reading included the number 11 and 1111. So you might be seeing the number 11 cropping up. So check out my previous video if you want to get a message on the numbers that you're seeing. But in general terms, the number 11 is about a spiritual path. It's awakening. It's about seeing the divinity, not just in yourself, but in others. It's about your connection to spirit. Okay. On this middle card, love, we've got another couple of birds. We've got the birds on the first card and the birds here on the branches of the tree in the second card. Now, you might not see lovebirds. That might not be the sort of thing that crops up very often as a sign, but you might certainly see love hearts appearing. Do you know the number of times that I've been out walking in nature and I've seen a love heart in some form, whether it's been some kind of a candy wrapper on the floor, there's a heart on it, or I've seen little like plastic shapes of hearts, just randomly, rubbish, obviously rubbish from someone. But often what I see more than anything else is petals and leaves shaped by hearts. And I sometimes see heart-shaped clouds. The heart can show up in so many different ways, but it has one message, and that's love. But love comes in all sorts of forms, doesn't it? So the energy that I'm getting from this reading coming through so far is very uplifting for you, Group 1. It's like you've got this vibe of optimism that has come into your life that is helping you to see things in a different way. And maybe you're starting to look at the world through your heart. And that means with love, you're looking at your external reality and yourself with love. Spirit said to me years ago, look with your heart. And it was a long time before I figured out what that actually meant. And it means to look at everything and everyone with love rather than with judgment. So this ties in really nicely with this lovely positive energy of hope and optimism that is coming in for you, Group 1. So look out for the heart symbols. You might see the word love cropping up a lot as well. I often see that on car number plates. That's a good place to see the word. You know where you get the letters? You might not spell the word love, but you might get the letters jumbled up in an anagram. So that's a very positive sign. So expect the feelings of love to come into your life in abundance. You know, it could be love with an animal companion, with your partner, with a close friend, with a family member, or with anyone that you feel an affinity with. Okay. This third card, which is 25 Purify, we've got the frog there, under the shower of the water lily, washing away its colour to get to its true self underneath. So you might see frogs. Frogs are a really great symbol for cleansing. So this card especially very much relates to cleansing, clearing your energy. And that's another positive energy to come in on this reading for you, because this positive perspective and this higher frequency of love that you're coming into will help you to wash away anything that doesn't feel good in your life, okay? Now, if you live somewhere where you get water lilies, you might see those regularly, or maybe you just see images or words that relate to frog or lily, okay? So look out for those. And this card is a number 7 as well. Right, I'm going to choose quite a few more cards because I want to see if we've got any recurring symbols that show up that will be a very strong message from Spirit. I'm going to use these playing cards, which is one of the decks I've created, which have got some symbolism on quite a lot of the cards. Okay, let's see what we've got here. The 2 of Clubs, weight, patience. 8 of Spades, mental strength. 2 of Hearts, connection. That's perfect to tie in with the love card, isn't it? And we've got 2 2s there as well, because the number 11, the 1 adds up to 2. So you've got a very strong 2 energy in this reading, which is really making me think of your connection with others, with yourself, and with Spirit, because this is a lovely, positive vibe that's coming through. Now, this 2 of Clubs, the weight and patience card, there are lots of signs and symbols that relate to waiting and patience, okay? We've got the snail, the slugs, the tortoise. There's, I think it's the falcon bird. If you ever see one of those, they hover on the spot as they're looking down at their prey, getting ready to swoop in for the kill. And they can hover in the same place for ages, waiting for the perfect moment. And that's one of the, if you ever see one of those, look at what the bird is doing, because when you see signs and symbols, it's always about looking at, especially if it's an animal, about what they're doing. You know, looking at their action, that will tell you a lot about the message that they're giving you. So if you see a falcon or another bird of prey hovering on the spot, it's asking you to be patient for something, okay? So there's something going on in your world at the moment that Spirit is asking you to wait on, okay? That it isn't ready to come to fruition just yet. So I'm just thinking of any other slow down symbols. Oh yes, we've got the red traffic light if you drive, coming across a lot of red lights, or even the amber light. The amber light is asking you to slow down, but the red light is asking you to stop, or it's actually saying no. So if you get a lot of those on a particular journey, take notice of that, because it could be giving you a message for that day, for something that's going on in your life, or it could even be relating to the place that you're going to, okay? If you ever see the symbol of the mountain coming in, you might get it coming up in a lot of oracle cards, or you might see images anywhere. But if you keep coming across a mountain, that is another symbol for kind of patience, waiting, going into the stillness, because mountains can represent retreat and quiet, okay? And that also relates to this number 2. So number 2 might be another number that you're seeing a lot of, okay? Because it can represent patience and waiting. And it's because there's something going on behind the scenes that you're not aware of that is trying to bring something to you, because it's not time yet for that thing to come to you, whatever it might be, whatever your spirit's asking you to be patient with. The number 2 shows you that something is happening to organize this thing to come to you. So wait a bit longer. Okay. So you just need to wait a bit longer. Okay. Now this 8 of Spades mental strength card. If you look closely at the image on here, we have there's an outer circle. It's not very visible because it's pale. Then there's a triangle, then a square, and then another circle on the inside. Okay. And all of these symbols fitting together in this circle, this represents bringing different parts of your energies into alignment, which is something that you can do using your mind. When you have control over your mind no longer controls you, and you can bring it into alignment with your emotions and your physical body and your spiritual self. And that's when your life path becomes into alignment. That's when it becomes easier to manifest things, because your energy is in alignment, okay? So with relation to any signs that you might be seeing for this message, the triangle is a really good sign for alignment, for bringing mind, body and soul together to work together, where you can use your mind for positive use instead of letting that chaos reign with noisy thoughts, okay? So look out for symbols of the triangle, and you might even see the circle and the square as well. So look out for those reoccurring, okay? This card on the right, the 2 of Hearts, the connection card, this is so lovely, and it makes me think of this connection with love. This is your connection, as I've said, with yourself, with spirit and with others. So it seems to me, group 1, that you could be seeing a lot of number 2s, or possibly a lot of hearts, or the word love. Okay, so look out for those very clear signs. Let's get some more cards. It's great that the heart there has kind of come up to confirm the love card in the middle there. That's great confirmation for you. Okay. Let's get 3 of these. This is another deck I've created. Daily signs. We've got number 9, the drain. 17, the aeroplane. That adds up to 8, and that's under another number 8 there. And 5, the telephone. Okay. So the drain, now the symbolism here is if you, in your daily life at home, if you're having any problems with drains, this is a reflection of something that's going on in your energy. Anything connected with water and the drains, it relates to the emotions. So another sign that you might see relating to your emotions is anything to do with water. If you've ever seen any tissues strewn away on the path as rubbish, if you see those regularly, especially if they're wet, that could be a sign that you've got some emotions to release. I know that might sound like a bizarre sign, but I've been observing the signs for years, and it's amazing what you can see and the messages that they give you. Because remember, the external environment is reflecting who you are on the inside. So what you see is relevant to you. Okay. So if you've got any drain problems at home, take note of that there is some kind of an emotional blockage within you. So something that needs releasing. Okay. This aeroplane here, if you live somewhere where there's a flight path nearby, you might look up to the sky. I've had days where I've seen lots of planes flying overhead, and then I can go weeks without seeing any. And it's like just randomly I'll see them. But when you see a plane flying high above, that is a lovely sign. And it ties in really nicely with this perspective card, because it means a higher perspective. It means that what you're going through at the moment, you're feeling on top of the world. Things are going great. It's a very positive energy. Okay. Flying high, it says, and that's how it feels. This telephone card, number 5, this is in relation to something to do with communication, whether there's something that you need to say to someone or something that somebody needs to say to you that you need to listen to that's quite important. It's basically saying there's some kind of important communication that needs to be spoken or heard. Okay. So this, if you're seeing any symbol signs relating to this, there could be problems with a phone, anything to do with communication. If you're having any glitches going on with communication, this could be telling you that there's something that you need to say to someone that you haven't been able to say yet, or that you've been having a problem saying, or maybe there's an argument going on. It's anything to do, any problems with communication is telling you there is a problem somewhere within your communications with other people. Okay. This could, this will be different for each of you. So have a look at what's going on in your life. But you might see the telephone symbol quite a lot cropping up in various places. Who knows? And that is a sign that for you to express yourself, because number 5 relates to self-expression. So this is about you not being afraid to speak your truth, to speak your heart, to speak your mind. Okay. So maybe you need to say something to someone, or someone needs to say something to you. Okay. Now I notice that it's interesting. We've got the drain card and the purify card because they tie up really well. This is some kind of emotional cleansing that you're going through or going to go through, group 1. Okay. Going to choose a few more cards from the Lenormand deck because there are a few good cards for symbolism in here, just to see if we've got anything more tying up. Or if there's any more numbers that want to pop out. We've got 38, the bridge, 3 and 8 adds up to 11, another 11. We have got 14, the fox, and also the 9 of clubs. That's another number 5 card. And we've got 39, the dice. Now, the 5s, with you having 2 5s now, this could be another number cropping up for you. 5 is a number of change and self-expression. It's also a number that requires balance because it can lead to indulging the senses, can the number 5. So balance is needed. But it could also relate to this cleansing energy that is coming in for you, group 1. Okay. And I feel that this cleansing, this is connected with this change in perspective and this love energy. It might also be for some of you that a love connection from the past is being cleansed out of your aura and you're feeling better about that. Or maybe you need to say something to someone who is close to you to get it off your chest and clear it out of your energy, if you like. Because the bridge symbolism here, this relates to a transition, about going from one place to another. And it also connects nicely with the perspective card because the bridge can give us that different perspective, a higher perspective that allows us to see something from a different viewpoint. So you've got some really lovely synchronicity cropping up here. You might see bridges a lot. You might see images of bridges. Okay. With this fox card, The fox, you might see the fox if you live somewhere where you've got foxes. I often see the word fox on the car number plates. The fox has got a few different meanings to it, depending on the context. Now, the fox is a protector and a provider. It will do what it needs to do to protect and provide for its family. But that can also mean that the fox can be quite deceptive or tricky, because it will do whatever it needs to do to protect its family by whatever means necessary. So for some of you, there might be a foxy character around you who might be a little bit deceptive or tricky to handle. Maybe this is connecting with what you need to say. Or it could be that someone is not being honest with you. Or for some of you, this could literally relate to you working hard 9-to-5 job. It might be connected with that. Okay. So the fox also is quite clever and cautious. So this could relate to you taking your time with something, which connects really well with this lovely patience card. So look out for the fox cropping up either as a word, an image, or in actual physical form. And now the dice here. The dice might be something that, again, that you see, images that you see. We've got all of the numbers 1 to 6 showing up here. So you might even see those numbers somewhere. They could even crop up in someone's phone number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not in that order, but you never know. So the dice is about taking a risk, gambling on something, and it can relate to taking a leap of faith, because I often associate this card with taking a leap and trusting yourself, having faith in yourself to do something. It could relate to having the courage to speak your truth and just taking that risk if there's something that you need to say to someone else, Group 1, to get it off your chest. Okay. So we've got quite a few different signs and symbolism there and numbers for you to look out for. Some of you might have already noticed that you're seeing them, and then it's great synchronicity that they're showing up in the reading. So you've got some helpful messages there from the universe, Group 1. I hope that's helped you. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you for listening and have a lovely day. Hello lovelies, thank you for joining me in the reading. So I'm going to choose a few cards from one of the decks I've created called Life Signs Oracle, because all these cards are based on signs and symbolism, so that I can give you an idea of the sorts of signs that might be coming into your life and what they mean. We've got 31 Retreat, 10 Rebirth, 9 Freedom. Got 2 orange cards there. So orange might be a colour that's relevant for you. It might be something that you're drawn to, or you have an aversion for, or maybe it's a colour that you just keep seeing. Now, orange connects with the sacral energy centre in the body, just below the belly button, and it relates to the emotions, to our creative center. It relates to our wants and needs and desires, and to our emotional connections and emotional bonds with other people. Okay, so see how that might be relevant in your own life, and we'll see if anything comes up in the reading that connects with that. Now, this 31 Retreat card, the symbolism on here, if you can see it, there's a wolf that is superimposed over the mountain. You can see the eyes there. So the symbolism of the mountain, I mentioned that in the first reading actually. And mountains represent retreat, stillness, silence, but they can also be an obstacle in our path. So if there's anything going on in your life that it feels like you're hitting a brick wall with, that's a sign from the universe that it's either not the right thing that you're doing or it's not the right time, okay? So the symbolism that connects with that is the mountain. As I say, you might, if you ever go out walking, you might come across dead ends or trees fallen over in your path. You know, something that physically stops you. If you're out driving, you may come across detours and roads closed and that sort of thing, okay? But in the everyday life, you might see images of mountains that could come up anywhere, online, on TV, in books, magazines, whatever, okay? So keep your eyes peeled for the mountain symbolism. Now, the other part of the mountain symbolism, as I said, is stillness and quiet and retreat. And that's what connects with the energy of the wolf. Although wolves are pack animals, they're also very independent, and at times they take themselves off on their own, especially if they're not feeling well or if they're feeling tired. And they do that so that they can recharge, go into the quiet and just to relax and breathe and be still. So you might be seeing wolves if you live somewhere where there are wolves. You might be seeing the word wolf. You might be seeing images of wolves. You might also see the number 1 energy, because we've got 1 here on the middle card, because the number 1 connects with the self, with being independent, with following your own path, okay? So there's something in your life at the moment where you could be, the universe could be slowing you down or creating obstacles for you. And it's because you need to take a step back, regroup, rebalance and recharge, and maybe just have a think about the path that you're on, if you're on the right path, or maybe don't even think at all. Just go into the stillness and let yourself be. Be a human being, not a human doing, okay? So this middle card, the 10, rebirth. Now that follows really nicely after the retreat card, because if you're going through some kind of a transformation, then resting and pulling back from things is the perfect thing for you to do, because it allows you to go through this next stage of transformation that you're heading in. Now, the signs that you might see, depends where you live. There could be the robin redbreast showing up. I mentioned that briefly in the first reading. Or you might see a stag or an elk or a deer or a moose. They all have similar symbolism. And those animals, they connect with your life path and with having a purpose and with following your path. And they also connect with regeneration. The robin redbreast, that relates to new developments, new growth, fresh ideas coming in. They typically represent, they're often what we see in spring after winter. So it's that new energy of something that's coming in for you. So there's a new energy coming into your life, okay? I feel that for most of you, this is an inner thing that's happening to you rather than something external. But there might be a few of you where you are going through a change in something physical, like a new job or a new relationship. Okay. But for most of you, this is an internal rebirth. Okay. So look out for the animals, the stag, deer, elk or moose or reindeer, depending where you live. And look out for the robin redbreast, or if you have any similar birds in the country that you live in that are typically associated with spring or new birth or new growth, okay? So you can look out for these animals in nature, or you might see images of them, or even the words, or you might even overhear someone speaking about them, okay? We've got the number 9 card, freedom. Now with the number 1 That's 10, which is 1. So you've got 1 and 9 together in this reading, which is an ending and a beginning. So that's really great synchronicity that they have come out next to each other. So this rebirth that is coming in for you is going to end something within your life. It's most likely something within you. So it could relate to something that you once believed, or an idea that you wanted to pursue that you've changed your mind on. Just something coming to an end. It could be an old emotion leaving. It could be changing your beliefs or thoughts on something. It could relate to any number of things, okay? But this number 9 freedom card, so we've got the goldfish and the cage. The goldfish has got wings, and you've got the black and white background, and then the water in the cage. So this is a situation in your life that you may have felt stuck in. And interestingly, this 31 on this card here, 3 and 1 adding up to 4. 4 can often represent limitations and restrictions, but they're usually ones that we put on ourselves. If we're in a situation that we don't like being in, it's up to us to get ourselves out of that situation, but we might feel stuck or trapped. But this number 9 freedom card is saying that you have the inner strength and courage needed to free yourself from this situation. And that is also what this rebirth energy is bringing in for you. It's bringing in this fresh, new energy, this change for you. So with regards to the symbolism on the number 9 freedom card, you might be seeing the number 1 a lot, or the number 9 or the number 4. So look out for any of those numbers coming up, especially if they are double or triple digits. So you might see goldfish, you might see the word fish, you might see images of fish, you might see the word cage, you might see images of cage. You could also see other things that relate to restriction. Could be a box, the word box, and sometimes key. Now the key unlocks things, but the key also locks things, okay? So it can unlock and lock. So if you're seeing the word key, you might see the word lock as well, or you might see images of keys or locks. And this is all relating to this energy of freeing yourself from something, group 2. Okay, now let's get some more cards. I'm interested to see if any of this symbolism is reiterated in any of the other cards that I choose. We've got the Ace of Hearts, Emerging Love. That's another number 1 energy, and that is a lovely card to get. This is another deck that I've created here, the playing cards. We've got 6 of Diamonds, 6 Sense. Brilliant. And we have got the 2 of Hearts connection that came out in the last reading. So look at that. You've got the Ace and 2 of Hearts. Wow. Very interesting. So this could be you. Maybe you've freed yourself from an unhappy or unhealthy connection recently, and there's a new one waiting to come in for you. And because you freed yourself, you're feeling like a new person. So that could be relevant for some of you. Okay. So the symbolism that we've got here, the hearts are showing up. You might see hearts. Okay. You might see the word heart or love. Okay, you might come across images of hearts that show up in the clouds. Sometimes petals of flowers or leaves look like hearts. You might see the word love showing up on car registration plates, or in other places, lots of other places, like on billboards, on the side of buses or vehicles, in magazines or books. You might see something on the internet, on memes, on social media. You might actually see something on an advert or on a TV show. These are all places that we can see signs. So anything that crops up a few times, usually 3 or more, this is getting your attention. So you don't have to see these signs physically in nature or in your physical life on your path, you might just see them, an image of them, or the word that connects with them, or you might overhear someone saying the word or talking about any of these signs. Okay. So these energies on this line here, this is lovely. You've got these 3 red cards, so you might be drawn to the colour red along with the colour orange, okay? And you might be seeing the hearts, you might be seeing the number 1s coming up. This is this lovely emerging love is this lovely energy that is coming into your life with this rebirth, okay? This is you feeling love inside. So you might be feeling a bit loved up or contented, you know. You don't have to be in a relationship to feel that way. You just might be feeling happy with the way things are at the moment, okay. This middle card, the 6 of diamonds, the 6th sense. So you might be seeing anything that connects with psychic ability. You might see eyes. You might see the word eye. You might see the 3rd eye itself, this symbol, the Eye of Horus, the all-seeing eye, that is in a lot of places that often go unnoticed. Like, I think the all-seeing eye is on the American dollar bill, is it? I think. It crops up in so many places. It's everywhere, is the eye. So this eye could be relevant for you in lots of different ways, group 2. Because the eye is to do with illumination, with awakening, with seeing things clearly. And it can also connect with Big Brother, can't it? Big Brother is watching you kind of thing. So look out for where you see the eye in whatever form it comes. I've seen oracle cards with eyes on them. There might be eye images anywhere and everywhere. There might be the word eye. Maybe you overhear someone talking about this. But this is also connecting really well with this lovely rebirth energy and this love energy that is coming in. It's like your eyes are being opened, or maybe you've had your eyes opened to something that was going on in your life, or maybe there was a connection that you've seen the truth in, okay? This will relate to differently for each of you, so take what resonates. Okay, so look out for this eye symbol. And for a few of you, this could be connecting to a rebirth, an awakening of your psychic ability, of your 3rd eye. Maybe some of you are going through a psychic expansion where your 3rd eye is starting to clear and open more. And you're becoming more attuned to spirit and to spirit guides and to all the things that are unseen and unknown in our reality. Okay, there is a feeling of expansion coming through this reading after a period of release, rest, release, and expansion. That is what I'm sensing for this reading. And this number 2 connection card with the 2 hearts. Again, look out for the hearts and the word love. Look out for the number 2, the number 1, the number 9. Those are the energies I'm picking up. And this is about your connection. I feel that for most of you, this is a higher connection with spirit and with your spiritual self. But for some of you, this is a connection with a new person. It could be a love connection. It could be friendship, or it could be a renewed connection, like someone that you already knew, that maybe you haven't seen for a while and they've come back into your life, or maybe there's been a connection that you've had problems with, and now, you know, after a rough patch, it's in a better place and the connection feels reinvigorated and alive again. Okay, so take what resonates, group 2. Now let's get some more cards from another deck I've created with more signs and symbolism on them, of course. We'll have that one that wanted to jump out, and one more. Okay. We've got 20, the amber light, another number 2, 32, the salt, another number 2, the tractor. How interesting. Okay, so number 2, that came up in the first reading, did number 2. If you were drawn to the first reading at all, listen to it, group 2, because there might be 1 or 2 messages in there that resonate with you. Okay, so the number 2 energy is about finding balance. It can be 2 paths, so it can be about needing to make a decision on something. And it can be also relate to hesitating and doubt and not sure which path to take. The number 2 also relates to being patient and waiting, because there's something behind the scenes that is going on, that is happening for something that you're manifesting in your life, and maybe you're not aware of what's going on behind the scenes and you're wondering why you're having to wait for something. And this is the universe saying, just be patient a little bit longer. Something is happening that needs to be organized before this thing can manifest for you. Okay, so take it easy, go slow. 2 very strong messages there for you, group 2, to take things easy and to slow down. There is this very strong energy of you not rushing ahead with anything. Okay, I feel that in all areas of your life, group 2. Take it easy. Have a bit of a slow down. You know, when you slow down, you notice more. You become more present and you become more aware. And I think that's what the message is here. Okay, now, in your everyday life, you could see any of these symbols. These are called daily signs, these cards. So you've got the amber traffic light. If you're getting a lot of amber lights when you're out driving, that's the universe just asking you to slow down. There's no need to rush. You'll get where you're going when you're meant to get there, okay? And you'll notice more along the way if you go slower. That, again, that is the message of the tractor. Slow down and you'll notice more, because when we rush, we miss so much. There are little things that could fill you with joy if you slowed down and noticed them, but also slowing down will help you to notice more signs. You know, the signs are around you all the time, around all of us. All we have to do is open our eyes and notice them. So when you're paying attention and observing more and being more present, that's when you see a lot more. That's when you'll see the signs. Okay, group 2. So look out for the tractor on your travels. You might get stuck behind one. You might see one passing by on the other side of the road. You might get stuck in slow moving traffic. These are all signs to slow down. Okay, it can also be a sign that's just saying something that's going on in your life is moving slowly, and that is how it's meant to be. Even if it isn't how you want it to be, it is how it's meant to be. Okay, group 2. Now this 32 salt detox card, that ties in really well with the rebirth, with the freedom, because this is about getting rid of any negative energy in your life. If you spill any salt, that is something to really pay attention, because there is a negative energy around you that is badly affecting you that you need to be aware of. Could be a person, could be a behavior of your own. There's something though that's bringing your energy down. If you spill salt, notice that. Okay, group 2. So salt is a great mopper up of toxins, whether that's physical toxins or toxins that are in your energy. Okay, so this is a positive sign as well, that for this rebirth and this release that you're going through, that whatever it was that was keeping you stuck, might be a bad behavior, whatever it was, a habit, you know, that was unhealthy, this is going to clear out of your life. But it is up to you, group 2, to take that action. Okay, right. There are a few other signs that you might see that relate to these messages on this bottom line. So the slow moving messages, there can be tortoise, slug, snail. Okay, if they come up, either if you see them physically, or you see images of them, or you see the words of them, or you overhear something about them, those are slow moving creatures, and that's spirit asking you to move slowly. Okay. And if you're seeing a red light, in addition to the amber light, that's a message for you to stop, okay? Now, another cleansing image that you might come across is the frog. This is why I mentioned about reading 1, because there was this cleansing energy in reading 1, and also the number 2 that was cropping up. The symbols have been quite different overall, but there have been a couple of similar messages. So yeah, listen to that one if it resonates. Okay. So water and frogs, this is this energy of cleansing that you might come across. Now, before we go, I'm going to just pick a few final cards from the Lenormand deck, because this has got a few good symbols and signs in that might tie in with some of the message that we've already got, or give you some new messages. Okay, let's see what we've got here. Oh, interesting. Number 10, the side. So that's another number 10 card, confirming the number 1 energy. We've got the Jack of Diamonds on there. Jack is a number 11, which adds up to 2. And the scythe, this is cutting something out, isn't it? Relating to the Freedom card. So there is definitely a need for you to free yourself from something, group 2. And we've got the Lily, number 30, and the King of Spades. The King is a 13, which adds up to 4, and that's a 3. So we've got another 4 there. Now the Lily is a symbol of peace and innocence and longevity and purity. Okay, so look out for lilies. Yeah, the word Lily, one of my kittens is called Lily. So you might see that name cropping up. Maybe that might come into your life quite a lot. Maybe you know someone called Lily that there's a message here for. Okay, maybe Lily is the name of the person that you need to cut out of your life. Who knows? So there could be lots of different messages here. We've got 32, the moon, and that's the 8 of hearts. Okay, so this could be giving a message that there is something that has been in your life, or even someone that has been in your life for a long time, that it is you need to cut out of your life. Or it could be, because this can also relate to reaping a harvest. So that's like a karma energy. And this could be in connection with this whole reading. There might be a karmic cycle that you've been going through that you are now coming to this point of freeing yourself from and being reborn. Okay. Because that can also relate to the lily energy. This, I mentioned longevity. So if it's a karmic cycle, it's something that could either been going on in your life a long time, or it's come from past lives. Okay. So there's something very long lasting in your life that could be going through, either you could be going through an ending or a change in it. Okay. And then this moon card here, this relates to the emotions, which connects in really nicely with the heart energy. It also connects with this water energy we've got in those 2 top cards, and with the intuition, which connects with the 6th sense there. So we've got a lot of symbolism coming here in this bottom row. You might see a scythe, but you might not. You might see wheat, which is a symbol of harvest. You might see the karma symbol, which is like the number 8 on its side. See, we've got the 8 there. So look out for those symbols, okay? As I say, you might see lilies, and then you might see the moon. The moon is a very common symbol to see, whether it's in the sky, or we see the word, or we see the image of it cropping up. So if you're seeing a moon, the moon can also relate to cycles and phases, okay? So you've got the moon imagery, symbolism is cycles, emotions, intuition, and about how you see things, getting clarity on something. Okay. So I hope that's helped you, group number 2. I hope that sheds some light onto some of the signs that you might be seeing or some of the signs that you will be seeing. So you've got quite a few to look out for there. We've got the numbers of 1, 2, 9. Those are the main ones that jumps out at me. Okay, so keep an eye out for those. And if you've enjoyed the reading, I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for listening and have a lovely day. Hello, group 3. Thanks for joining me in the reading. Okay, so I'm going to choose a few cards from... There's one jumping out from this deck I've created. All the decks I've created are all based on signs and symbolism, as I mentioned in the intro. So I'm going to choose quite a few to give you an idea of any signs that you might be seeing and what they're telling you. So we have got 38 aware, 11 support, 24 healing. Fab. Okay. So interestingly, what I see straight away is a number 11. Number 11 crops up in the first reading as well. Okay, so that's 38, which adds up to 11. Now, my last reading that I did, that was all about the numbers 11 and 111, etc. So if you haven't watched that, have a watch of that if it resonates with you, because the number 11 might be one of the things that you're seeing. Okay, so the number 11 can relate to a spiritual awakening. It's about a higher perspective, a spiritual path, healing. It can be about seeing the divinity in yourself and others, and it's about your connection to spirit and to your spiritual self. Okay, so that is a lovely message to start the reading off with, group 3. Now, in this first card here, which is called Aware, we've got the moon and a fox, there's a shadow as well. So the moon and the fox, those are the main symbols in that card, along with the number 11. Now the fox, I think that also came up in the first reading. So if you're drawn to the first reading, watch that one as well. Now, the moon symbolises cycles and phases. The full moon symbolises completion, and the moon also connects with the intuition, seeing how we see things, whether we're seeing things clearly or seeing the illusions. It relates to feminine energy of the intuition, as I've said, with feelings and emotions. And it also connects with our vision, how we see things. Okay. So you might be seeing images of the moon. You might be seeing the word moon coming up. You might have other oracle card readings where there are a lot of moon images coming up in the cards. Okay. So this could, especially if it's a full moon, this could relate to a cycle coming to a close. But in this reading with this card, I feel that it connects with how you're seeing something or someone, and that you're not at the moment seeing it quite clearly or seeing it as it is. It's like you're not seeing something or someone for how they or it truly is. Okay. So the fox symbolism, that is similar. The fox has got various symbolism attached to it, but it can be deceptive and cunning and tricky. And if it relates to a person, it could be that someone's deceiving you, or it could be that there's a tricky character in your life that you have to be clever in the way that you deal with them, because the fox also relates to being clever, cunning, and cautious. Okay. The fox is also very protective and is a provider for its family. So it will do whatever it needs to protect its family. So these are all things that relate to the fox energy, that some or all of them might be relevant to you in this reading. So this could relate to someone else in your life who isn't what they seem, or it could be a situation that you're not seeing clearly. Or it could even be how you're looking upon yourself, okay? Maybe you're being critical of yourself in some area or very judgmental of yourself. So if you're seeing a fox on, either out in nature or you see the word, it could crop up on a car number plate. You might see images of foxes. You might see foxes on TV, on billboards, signs can show up anywhere. Same for the moon, it can come up anywhere. So notice these things, these signs, and the number 11, if it's showing up 3 or more times, it is giving you a message, okay? Now, another very lovely message, another sign to see with a positive message is the white feather. Yay, I'm so glad that came up in one of the readings. White feathers are a very positive sign to see, okay? Especially as if there's a bit of a challenging energy going on here that I've talked about. The white feather is confirmation from spirit saying, we are watching over you. You are safe and you are loved. We are here for you. Okay, group 3. That is a lovely sign to see. So some of you might be seeing white feathers on your path. So when you do, know that spirit is watching over you, okay? And dogs are also a very positive sign. Dogs represent trust, the opposite energy of this card. So I feel that whatever this situation or person is that's causing a bit of a challenge at the moment, I feel that you're going to overcome that, okay? Because the dogs are helpful. They offer support. They offer trust and faith. And sometimes they can represent help from a spirit guide, okay? But it could be help from a friendly person as well. And I feel that that is very much connecting to this first card energy that I spoke about. So some of you might see a lot of dogs around. You might see the word dog or the images of dogs, okay? And that's a very positive message that you're getting help. This lovely healing card on the end, I mean, that ties in really well with what I'm talking about here. If you've got a challenging situation, you're getting help and support for it, and then you're going to get healing from spirit. So group 3, look at the background here with the rainbow on. If you see any rainbows, I mean, yay, what a lovely sign to see. They signify completion, wish fulfillment, joyful feelings. Rainbows are light. They represent light, don't they? Because when light refracts, it breaks up into the 7 colours of the rainbow, doesn't it? Because each colour is a different wavelength. So the rainbow represents light. So that's this final message from these cards, is that you are going to be receiving some light energy healing from spirit. And I feel that it relates to this situation that we've spoken about. Okay. Even if this relates to some of you who are being self-critical on yourself or judgmental about something that you do, you're just beating yourself up about something. This is spirit coming in saying you're getting the help and the healing that you need to get through this situation so that you can change the way that you see yourself. Okay. So look out for rainbows, whether it's in the sky or whether you're seeing images of rainbows. That is a lovely positive sign. And you've got the white feathers. I mean, rainbows and white feathers, what more could you want, group 3? I mean, come on. Okay, let's get some more cards and we'll see if we've got any reoccurring images that come up. Actually, those images on those cards, they aren't in any of these cards, but we might get some new messages and we might get some repeating numbers. So, that's just turned over. We have got the Ace of Clubs, the Door, a new situation. Brilliant. The 9 of Spades, that's the lotus flower, wisdom and clarity. The 5 of Diamonds, inner transformation. And this is also an old, very old symbol. I don't know if it's a sort of symbol that you might see at all, but if you do, if you notice it, it relates to inner transformation, okay? Because you've got the circle, the star with the circle in the center. And I mean, this looks like a wheel. Okay, I'll come back to that in a moment though. Let's get back onto this one here. The Ace of Clubs with the new door. So this is a new situation coming in. And this is a number 1 energy. So we've got 1 and 11. Okay, so if you haven't watched that video on the number 11 and the ones, and if it resonates with you, then watch my last reading, okay? Because these could be numbers that you're seeing a lot of, 1s and 11s, okay? Now we've got 1 and 9. So you have very clearly got this end of a situation. This could be this situation that I was talking about. It could relate to a different situation, but whatever it is, you've got an ending and a new beginning coming in. And this new situation, the Ace of Clubs relate to things in the physical realm. So this is a new beginning, with something physically for you, group 3. So it could be new job, new house, new connection, that sort of thing. It could be, it could be a new diet, new health regime. It could be a new project, a new hobby, anything new in your physical life. Okay. So something new is coming in. So if you're seeing the word new, it could be on car registration plates, it could be anywhere, or if you're seeing the door, either as an image or the word, these things can crop up in lots of different places, billboards, adverts, on social media, on memes, on TV programs, car number plates, signs on buildings. I mean, you could see these signs absolutely anywhere. It doesn't have to be literally on your path. It can be an image, a word, or overhearing somebody saying something, okay? So you've got the door and the ace, the number 1, okay? We've got the number 9, and as I say, this is a lotus flower image. So you might see the lotus flower cropping up. The lotus flower is something that we often see in connection with the chakras as well. And the chakras relate to the rainbow, don't they? Because they're the rainbow colours. So look out for anything to do with chakras, the lotus flower, rainbows, energy healing. This could be a message for some of you to clear your energy, because we've got the clarity word on there as well. Okay. So maybe some of you need a big cleansing and healing session in some way, whether it's something that you engage in yourself with between you and spirit, or whether you see a spiritual healer, or you go to a holistic therapist, or maybe you work with crystals or flower essences, or go into nature, whatever resonates, okay? There is this lovely energy of something ending and beginning, and you getting the healing and cleansing that you need. And this is the inner transformation that is all connecting with. You're going through a shift, aren't you, group 3? That seems very clear. And you're getting a lot of help from spirit. Oh my goodness, that's one that's fallen. Oh, we've got 3 fallen out. Look at that. How about that for synchronicity? Number 10, the door, a new chapter. Wow. Well, there's a very clear message. Isn't it just? Number 3, write it, the pen. Number 2, the tractor. I think that came out in the last reading. Okay. Don't need to say much more about the door, do I? Other than this is very synchronistic. So look out for the 1s, the 10s, the word new, the word door, because all of these things are telling you a new situation is coming into your life. Okay, group 3. Now this is interesting symbolism, the pen. So you might have an issue with a pen. You might find a pen, maybe it doesn't work, but you might find one. You might see the words pen, all the letters on a car number plate. I often see them as anagrams. So what this is talking about is some kind of communication that needs to be had between you and another person, or even between you and a group of people. And because it's the pen, it relates to writing. So that is either email, letter, text, messaging, that sort of thing. Okay. So it doesn't have to be physical pen and paper. It can be electronic writing. But whatever it is, some kind of important communication is, you need to pay, it is basically the message here is for you need to pay attention to some kind of written communication. Okay, group 3. So it might be something that you need to write or that somebody else writes to you. And it could be in connection with this new beginning, but it could be completely separate to anything that I've mentioned. But whatever it is, with it coming up in the reading, it's important communication for you. It could even, if some of you have moved house, it could relate to the house contract or something to do with that, okay? So if you've got any symbolism to do with pens, that's the thing to notice, okay? This card here, the number 2 tractor, this seems to come out a lot at the moment. This is a message from Spirit to slow down. I think often whenever I do a reading, one of the readings is talking about slowing down. You can guarantee it because so many of us go so fast through life, don't we? The slowing down energy was much stronger in the last reading now. I feel that this is relating to your inner transformation and healing. Okay, group 3, that Spirit is just coming through saying, just give yourself time to heal and rest because you're going through a big shift. You're going through this ending and beginning, so you need to be gentle with yourself. Okay, group 3. Now, the signs that you might see in relation to that is literally the tractor. You might get a tractor, you might get stuck behind one if you drive, you might see one going past on the opposite side of the road. You also might see other slow moving symbolism is the amber light on the traffic lights. You've got slugs and snails that move slowly, and also the tortoise. And it's the number 2. And with 11 coming up, the 1-1, that adds up to 2 as well. So the number 2 might come up for you a bit there, group 3. And this is Spirit saying, give yourself time. Okay, there's something that you need to slow down for. And for most of you, it's this shift that you're going through. Okay, because you need that rest. You need time to assimilate the shift, the ending and the new beginning that you're going through. Now, let me get some more cards. These are from the Lenormand deck, which have got some great symbols in them. We'll see if we get anything connecting. One more. Oops. We have got the 6, which is the clouds, and also the King of Clubs. And we've got 44, the magnifying glass, and number 5, the tree, which is also the 7 of hearts. You've got a number 5 and a 5 there. That's interesting. 5 can relate to to change that's coming in, but 5 is also about self-expression, which ties in nicely with this pen. So if any of you are noticing 5 or 55, also got 44, along with the 11. You've got a few double digits showing up here. So yeah, if you're noticing the 5s, this is this energy of change and expression. Okay. So you need to express yourself in something. Right. Let's just back up to the beginning of the line here. So this clouds card, it's really good that it's come out at the beginning of the line because I read from left to right, because we've got the dark clouds on the left and then the sun coming through the clouds on the right. So this dark cloud here This could be this challenging situation that you've been going through, but there is a silver lining because the sun is coming out. So where you've had the moon energy here, that fox symbolism, this tricky person or tricky situation or a challenge that's within you, you are moving out of this towards the light. And we know that anyway because of the new beginning. Okay. The clouds can relate also to doubt and confusion. So you might be seeing clouds come up in images. Some of my cards have got clouds on them. You might see clouds in other ways, okay? Or maybe you're paying attention to the sky. Maybe you're getting signs in the clouds, you know, when you sometimes get cloud shapes coming in. So keep your eyes on the sky for messages in the clouds, okay? The clouds can also connect with spirit and the imagination and the mind and thoughts. So it might be that some of you have been giving some deep thought to something. It might be that some of you have been wanting to connect with spirit because spirit wants to give you this healing. So there are a few different messages there. So take what resonates for you. Now this 44 magnifying glass card is very interesting because this asks you to take a closer look at something. That kind of ties in with this full moon energy because the moon, as I mentioned, is how we sometimes don't see things clearly. And I talked about the need for something to be cleared from you or for you to see something more clearly. And that magnifying glass, that is confirming that really well. So you might not necessarily see a magnifying glass as a sign, but you could see glass because glass relates to clarity, okay? There might be, maybe you even break some glass. I've had instances where I've dropped a glass, and breaking glass means breaking through something. It means seeing clearly through an illusion finally. And that ties in with the message here. So look out for anything connected with glass, okay? Whether it's windows, crockery, or, you know, glass could come in many different forms. There are decorations that are glass. So look out for if you break any glass, or look out for images of glass or even the word, because this is showing you that there's something that you are needing to see clearly, okay? Needing to look at in a different way, maybe, okay? And then this final card, number 5, the tree. The tree in the Lenormand deck is often associated with healing. And if we look closer, you've got the rainbow. Okay, group 3. So there's another rainbow for you. This is a wonderful message of healing. Some of you, this could even connect with your health and the message that Spirit is saying to give yourself time to slow down, to rest, to recover your health, to rebalance, to recover your energy. Okay. So the tree energy as a whole for symbolism relates to laying down strong foundations, taking your time. Again, it's a slow moving energy just underneath the tractor there. This is about you taking your time to heal, okay? To go through this lovely transition you're going through, to go through this ending and beginning, this wonderful shift. This is transformational for you. Group 3, you're going through a transformation. Give yourself time. So this is upleading. This is leading you to feeling much better about yourself. So you've got quite a few different symbols there. We've got the fox, the moon, the white feathers, the dog, rainbows. You've got the lotus flower, the doors, the pen, the tractor, the tree, glass, clouds, and the numbers 11, 1 and 9 and 5 are the ones that, and 2, a little bit of 2, that also stood out. So you might not see all of these numbers, but you might find that one of these particular numbers shows up for you quite regularly. So I think I talked about the meaning of the different numbers. So remember what that meaning is of those numbers that you're noticing the most of, because that is giving you a message. Okay, group 3. I hope that's been of help to you. Please let me know in the comments what you think. Thank you for listening and have a lovely day.